Welcome to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Now here along with Dr. Bonati, your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Good afternoon, and thank you for listening to American Medicine Today on News Radio 970 WFLA. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine Institute.
How you doing, doctor? Hello. Hello.
And Ethan.
Yes.
Ethan Euchre, our executive producer.
I have returned.
We are back.
From the barren wasteland of New York City.
We are so glad to have you back and working for us now.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not about me. Let's get into to our guests when we have time. We'll talk about me when we have time. Okay. Nobody cares about me.
Well, every week we talk about the Bonati Spine Institute and the reasons why people should come to Dr. Bonati, and that's because he changed spine surgery forever. There was traditional open back surgery and nothing else on the market. Dr. Bonati was able to see the problems, and he thought about it, and he came up with his own patented methods and instrumentation to exactly pinpoint people's ailments for neck, back, and sciatic pain. So with that said, on today's show, we're going to hear from patient Steve Yancey, and later on in the show, we have in studio Congressman David Jolly, and he's going to be speaking to us about the VA scandal and Obamacare. And then, of course, we'll hear what's new in American Medicine Today. But up first...
It's a big show.
Oh, yeah. We are so excited. We have Fox News host Lou Dobbs on the line from New York City, and he recently published his first fiction book titled Border War. It's very timely, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, but Lou, we're excited to have you on the show.
And Lou, I apologize for calling New York a barren wasteland, though not really.
No, it's not.
Great to be with you. Thanks so much.
I know Dr. Bonati's got a lot of things he wants to ask you about. Top of the list is probably just sort of the state of America under the current administration. I saw a conversation that you had, Lou, with Bill Hemmer, and you kind of laid it right out there in no uncertain terms that the president cannot be trusted. Can you elaborate on that? I'm sure Dr. Bonati will love this. Lou?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear the last part of what you said.
I said you laid it out to Bill Hemmer about how the president cannot be trusted. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. I mean, we're looking at a president who is refusing to enforce existing immigration laws. This is an administration that says it's not a crime to enter our country illegally, when it certainly is. U.S. Code 1325 lays out specifically that it is a crime, punishable by fines, by prison, and it's just remarkable what the administration is doing in terms of a disinformation campaign waged against the American people. This is a president who wanted to pretend that suddenly the humanitarian crisis, as he constructed it, had developed on our southern border. So-called unaccompanied children coming into this country, it has just about tripled over the course of the last 3 years, each year being far worse than the previous. And now, from 60,000, we were expecting as many as 90,000 children to have crossed our border illegally by the end of September. This is a crisis, but this president, make no mistake about it, is the man who orchestrated it, who created it, through either design or sheer incompetence. Either way, it is of his making.
Lou, I first than anything, I need to tell you that you are my idol, man. I listen to you all the time, and I drool when you talk. This is how America should be. This is the type of a person that I believe America is, and you represent this type of an Americans in the highest type of representation. I love you, man.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words.
But I need to tell you one thing. I am very confused. If an individual in the private sector is a CEO and his performance is poor, is being demoted or is being suspended or is being removed, what is the type of impairments that we have to impeach and fire Obama. Why the people doesn't react to that? It's a percentage of people that is dissatisfied with everything that he does, and why is still that type of drag that doesn't have any action. Why the people don't go and say enough is enough, and you are fired and you're gone?
Yeah, I think that is that's a question that is subtext. I think through nearly all of the politics that are playing out right now, Doctor. Here are the answers I would give you, because there are several that turn out to be factors in the decision not to impeach. One is the rancor that followed the impeachment of Bill Clinton. I think has convinced many Americans that it's not a process that they want to go through again. Secondly, that this is an African American president, our nation's first. It is a very sensitive matter to impeach him politically, and that is just simply the reality of 21st century politics. You know, it's easy for many people to forget that this president was supposed to be our first post-racial president.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, what he has turned out to be is a master of racial politics.
Yes.
His attorney general famously saying that we're a nation of cowards when it comes to the issue of race in America. Mm-hmm. It turns out that he may be right.
I think he's absolutely
the color
right.
of one's skin is enough for honest, straightforward, speaking, deeply concerned citizens to simply be thwarted in that concern and defer to political correctness and racial sensitivities, rather than treat any one person precisely the same as another, irrespective of his or her race or creed or culture or religion or gender or orientation. This has become a nation so divided by group and identity politics, and those who masterfully play upon our differences rather than our commonalities, that we are watching a great society literally become paralyzed.
I liken it to a shell game where we have so many different scandals going on between Benghazi and Bergdahl and the IRS and the border and Obamacare. And you see the shells being moved around and you're looking for the P. But in this case, the P is the president. Where's the president with all these scandals? He has been so clueless. And then when we find him, unfortunately, we find him raising money and doing that sort of thing for politics. Mm-hmm. But where is he when it comes to really solving these problems? What do you think about that, Lou?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that this president has the arrogance, the chutzpah, as we say here in New York, mm-hmm. to be on the West Coast raising money for 3 full days, and not in any way seemingly addressing, certainly not publicly, the crisis in Ukraine, mm-hmm. And in Russia.
Yes.
Seemingly absolutely
Israel?
deaf and dumb on the Israeli offensive against Hamas targets in Gaza. This is a president who has been, John Boehner, the Speaker of the House, called him AWOL, and that's as good a description as any. But while he is AWOL, he is out talking in partisan terms about the Republican Party and blaming the Republicans for stalling his otherwise utopian agenda that would have solved all of the nation's problems. And this is such claptrap coming from the president that it's utterly stunning.
Now, you brought up...
Republicans in the House have put forward over 300 bills that have been stalled in the Senate. If the president has a complaint legislatively, let him turn to his friend Harry Reid, who's made a mockery out of the Senate.
Right. You know, the Congress wants to pass the border bill, or get the border bill passed. And what they're doing is they're holding hostage aid for the missiles for Israel. Why are they making us pass this border bill just to be able to give aid to Israel?
I think there are some people, I think we've got to be very honest about this. There are some in Congress, in the Senate, and in this White House, who are not the friends of Israel.
Right.
And there is a judgment that's been made by some of these people, clearly, that they are not going to be supportive of Israel. They're not going to do it in the clear. They're going to be as covert in their motives and actions as they can be. But the reality is they don't wish Israel well. And those who support Israel, I would hope it would be would it be every single American.
Right.
In the fight against radical Islamist terrorists, have to demand far better conduct of this president, of the Senate in particular, because Israel is fighting for its life here. And for the president to say, we support the right of Israel to defend itself, but, and then urge a ceasefire before their strategic objectives are achieved in Gaza, it's the same thing as selling them out. And it really must stop.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I have one fast question. I don't understand why the population of Jewish people in the country are still Democrats. How they cannot support Israel is amazing that they keep electing individuals that are incompetent, totally fraud, and they attack Israel. This is to me beyond my common sense.
You know, since Harry Truman was the first head of state to recognize Israel in 1948, I think many American Jews in particular have felt a deep obligation to the Democratic Party that's represented in the person of President Trump, and that's understandable. But whether we go back to the 67 wars, whether we go to 73, the history of Israel, Republicans have been the best friends of Israel,
Right.
of the two parties. And that's not to suggest that the Republicans have been perfect. They have not in their record. But certainly, I think better than the record that's been exhibited by the Democrats. And what is happening right now with the Democratic Party, I think that Harry Truman would be physically ill to watch what this president has done, the statements by his Secretary of State. It's repulsive. It's to me so disappointing, dismaying, and I have to tell you, it is a betrayal of the great relationship between the United States and Israel, and it is nothing less than that.
Absolutely.
I think it's even beyond that. I think this man is a betrayal to the whole country. I think he's betraying the soul of the America.
Well, I agree with you to a point, but the truth is that the American people, we still have our souls. We still have our freedom. And we still have the responsibility as citizens to never, ever put a person in that office again with the values that are so inconsistent and contradictory to American traditions that the result is just divisiveness and a divide that I think will take many years to heal as a result of this president's 2 terms in office.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty more we could get into, and hopefully we can have you back on sometime, Lou.
My pleasure.
And we didn't even really get to hit on the book that much, which is also why we got to have you back on.
Yeah,
You
border.
can just buy a bunch of copies of Border War, and we'll call it even.
We definitely
already
want to
bought
have
it.
you back on. Yeah, we like Border War, and how timely is that with everything that's going on with the border? And we're hearing that the cartel is shooting from our own side because we're
Craziness.
trying to close it down. So,
Just one quick word, if I may, real quickly.
Yes.
We talk about corruption at the border. It's important for Americans to understand that corruption is on both sides of the border.
Yes.
We better deal with that reality.
That's for sure. All
Absolutely.
right. Well, Fox Business Network's Lou Dobbs tonight, the host of that legendary broadcaster, new fiction debut novel, Border War. Lou Dobbs, appreciate you joining us on American Medicine Day, sir.
Great to be with you all. Thank you so much.
Have
thank
a
you
great
very
day.
much.
All right. Good stuff.
Oh, I adore him. I adore him too. You are listening to American Medicine Today on News Radio 970 WFLA. After the break and coming up, we'll hear from patient Steve Yancey about his return to life with the Bonati spine procedures. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail. The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonati.com.
All my pain is gone, gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible.
It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful.
I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.